Welcome to the Seller Roundtable e-commerce coaching and business strategies with Andy Arnott and Amy Wees.
Wow. Well, we have a lot of comments over here in the feed. Like everybody's really having good conversations. Thank you, Tori. Hey, Justin, just saying hello. Hey, Raheel. Hey, Yusuf, Ali. Lots of great conversation here. So I love that, but either way, if you don't have to worry about inspection, that is nice. But if we're making something that's more like handicraft and that we want to a certain level, do you know if there are any inspection companies there? Maybe we just have to hit up the Googles for that.
I don't really have a what do you call it? A resource for you there. My experience, like I've had some Pakistani VAs in the past that were not successful for me. Like anywhere else, you have your scammers and you have people that know what they're doing, right? And it's just a matter of like, you can't take it personally. You're a business person. You hire people. You hire an employee. They suck. You hide the body. You got another one. If they suck, you hide that body, and then eventually you find a good one. You keep them. It's the same kind of thing. You're in business. You're a grown up. You find somebody. You try them out. If they're crappy, I would actually suggest, like, I have not done this yet, but I've got a plan in November. I'm actually going to go meet my suppliers in person, which is, I'm kind of excited about doing that because we've been, working together for so long. It's going to be kind of cool. But I would say, if you're going to buy any kind of quantity, get on a plane. I mean, there's flights from Miami to Islamabad for like $900. Get on a plane. Go look at the stuff yourself. Go look at the factory. Go see the people.
Yeah. I would 100% agree. Like in terms of you also contracts, you can have contracts to somewhat protect yourself if you can't make it over there on a plane, but you can at least have a good relationship with your supplier. You can ask for pictures. You can communicate your requirements, because most of the time a failed inspection is due to a miscommunication of requirements or lack of communication of requirements. I can't tell you how many times people have gotten a sample or something from their supplier and they've been like, this is a mess. And it's like, okay, well, did you expect them to read your mind, or did you give them a quality spec document, and did you communicate your requirements back and forth? Did you have good conversations? I think most of it can be really, due to lack of communication. And so it's really all about those relationships and communication back and forth along the way. Don't be afraid to ask for a video of something close up, or, of if you're concerned about the fabric stretching, have them stretch it for you. Like they want to make quality stuff for you. And if they have a problem with that, then that's a red flag. Would you say?
Yeah, absolutely, Amy. And I think also it's important to have realistic expectations, right? If you say to someone, "Hey, I've got like this cell phone which is $800. I want you to make it for me for $200." No, that's not realistic, right? I mean, you got to adjust your expectations to the realm of reality. You're going to have to absolutely send me samples. I'll pay the DHL 2-day shipping, whatever, it's $100. Send me a sample. Pull 3 off the line, put an envelope, and send it down. Let me have a look at it, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of opportunity there. Like the suppliers, and I'm going to generalize here a little bit. Like I grew up in Toronto, Canada, so I grew up with a lot of Pakistani friends and people that I knew, right? And like I said, I was somewhat familiar with the culture and kind of the attitude and the stuff, so I didn't have a specific problem with it. But my suppliers have been like highest level of integrity, highest level of professionalism. Like I said, nothing but positive things to say about my relationship with them. And it's just a matter of finding people that you have that with, that you have that ability with.
That's awesome.
Like we just changed our packaging for one of our products that they make, and they put that thick cardboard with magnetic closure on there. And they called me up. They're like, we have this new packaging. We're excited about it. And I'm like, okay, what's the cost? It's an extra 50 cents. I'm like, do it. You sure? I'm like, yeah. Like 50 cents. This is something that I sell for $100, right? 50 cents, knock yourselves out, guys. I'm cool.
Love that. Yeah. I mean, so it's so important. Like, no matter where you're sourcing from, it's important to know your requirements. It's important to know what makes a good partner for you. It's important to um, not pinch your supplier out of their last dime, and really be a good customer, be a good partner, find the right partner for you. If you can't inspect it yourself, have that communication going. And then you mentioned packaging, explore white label opportunities, explore your opportunity to repackage something. Don't be afraid to use the internet. Oh my goodness, we've learned so many lessons here talking to you today. One more question for you. Importing. And you mentioned like the tariffs, the importing fees and everything are quite minimal. But how do you find, like, is it hard to find a freight forwarder? Obviously for China, they're very easy to find. But do you have any advice about shipping and importing and finding the right provider for that?
My suppliers, like when I started this, I didn't know anything like about this whole process, right? So my suppliers put this stuff on a boat for me. Here you go, right? They have a freight forwarder that they've worked with before. I've got a customs broker here in Orlando that I use, and the first couple times that I had stuff come in, we didn't have the paperwork done properly because we didn't know what the hell we were doing, right? So the FDA ended up holding my first shipment for like 3 months. It went back and forth, and then I learned along the way how to do it. Like one thing I'll tell people is, when you start this journey, you're gonna screw up, you're gonna fail, you're gonna do stuff, and that's how you learn, right? Once you figure it out, like we talk about, I talk about how I have to re-educate our FDA inspector every year. They give us a new one, right? I have like this 30-page email with charts and graphs and links to different websites and the FDA website and their own stuff. This is all together, right? So the first time I did it, it took me like a month to put this crap together, but now it's done. So now when we get the FDA stuff going, here's your email, here's your references, here's who you talk to. The chief FDA inspector for the state of Florida, lady's on a first name basis with me. I call her up. I'm like, I know a bit of Spanish because my wife is Mexican, right? So the lady's Spanish. I'm talking, hola, ¿qué paso? Throw my 10 words of Spanish at her. You got to kiss the little ass sometimes, and you do that. You figure it out.
Right. So I love that. You figure it out every step of the way. I'll never forget my first time finding a freight forwarder. I was like, just thinking, this can't be so hard. I don't trust just somebody in a Facebook group sending me a message. I want to find a legitimate business. So I hit up the Googles. I looked at websites. I made some phone calls. I did some interviews. And I found Brownstone International here in the US. They're also a licensed customs broker. And they were so nice. And they took the time to really explain everything to me and educate me. And I've trusted them ever since then. And they've been, my trusted freight forwarder for any country, really. They're really good at doing importing and exporting. But I think that's the bottom line is, and this has been a constant theme throughout this interview with you, Miro, is just like, there's nothing wrong with learning. You're going to make mistakes. And it's just good business to have conversations, figure things out, find good partners, and source from the places that are best for you and best for your customers, right?
Well, I've got a lot of my friends kind of see what I'm doing in my business and they want to get into it. I've gotten a few of my friends into it. And what I do now is I use a couple of these coaches that help guide me and get me going. So now I just tell people, look, you want to get this business, hire these coaches and they'll drag you through it and they'll take you through it step by step because I don't have the attention span for it, right? And but what's really cool is I got a friend of mine. He's a big guy, not the sharpest tool in the shed, but the guy's like 100% foot on the gas, right? And he runs into the wall sometimes, but he gets ahead and he makes money because he's doing stuff. And I think that's the biggest flaw, I guess, in our modern society is we have too much information. And we're like, maybe I should source from here. Maybe I should source from here. You know what? Whether you're sourcing from China or Pakistan or something, just get started. Like, do some baby steps. Like, it's funny because I have an Airbnb that I rent out and I buy tons of towels because people steal towels like crazy, right? I've bought towels from 4 different suppliers. It's the same towels made in Pakistan. 4 different guys selling them.
Oh my gosh, yes. You never know, but as long as it's good pricing and good opportunities. Hey, I just want to say hi to Justin and say hi to Cy. Simon's here. And then we have that some more info here where Ali is saying that pharmaceutical bulk exports are massive along with agricultural products. And the famous pink Himalayan salt. I love pink salt.
Oh, so do I. It's great stuff. Well, I can tell you guys a salt story. I'm in Big Lots. I love Big Lots. And they have these giant glass jars of Himalayan sea salts for like the pink salt for like $3. And I was like, I'd buy it off the shelves and resell it because it was like $40 for the salt in this giant, beautiful glass decanter thing. I'm like, wow, this is gorgeous. And it was one of these export to buy, and I called the company like, yeah, they said we just bought they bought like 5 containers that are from Pakistan. They got a crazy deal on them, right? But I'm like, I was so selling. Like just the glass decanter had to be worth like would retail for like $40-$50. It was beautiful.
And you found it at Big Lots.
I bought like 10 of them.
There's so many sourcing opportunities right in front of our eyes that we don't even realize. And I think a lot of people just don't even realize the potential to repackage something, rebrand it, make it their own, just like you've done. And, you could take that giant thing of salt, repackage it, make it amazing,
I got to tell you something, Amy. Our journey, we were on our probably 6th complete label and packaging redesign. We've gone from little tiny plastic bottles with like a white printed label to a foil printed label we printed on our inkjet printers, and now we're in glass bottles, high quality glass bottles with this like $10,000 laser printer that prints like 3,000 DPI, like photograph quality. And the packaging is so much more important than you think it is. Whatever you think, like each time we've changed our packaging, our sales have doubled. Like each time, yeah. It's so ridiculous that that you're thinking, oh, I got like, you can laugh at this. When I first started selling on, someone said, hey, you should sell on Amazon. Here's my answer. I don't want to pollute my brand by selling online. Like, what a dumbass. If I'd gotten into it back then, I'd be in private jet money right now. Like, oh my God.
You're still going to get there, Miro. You're going to get there. And then I want to ride, okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, locking that in. You guys heard it. You heard it. He said it. So I would love to ask you before we get off here, you have really had some experience creating your own packaging. And you said you bought your own printers for packaging and stuff. And I've actually, my cat litter box cleaner that's made in the US, I had to get my packaging from the US, and I actually started outsourcing my packaging to China, because they do a better job and it's actually much better price. And my prices here for packaging at some of the packaging manufacturers were just ridiculous. So like, for example, my full color box that I just like redid with for retail packaging has a window in it. It's full color. It has like 4 different colors on the outside of the box. It's a big box, right? That my supplier here, my packaging supplier here quoted me like $3 a box for. And I was like, man, that just doesn't seem right. And I contacted James at Pactipus in China. I met him. He's actually from Boston, and he moved to China and started his own packaging company. And I ended up paying 83 cents a box, and he shipped it anywhere in China free for me. And I just threw it on out with one of my shipments that was coming out from another supplier. And so it worked out just fine. But for those people that are wanting to take advantage of packaging here in the US, and I see that all the time, people want to get started, and I tell them, I'm like, hey, just go get some boxes, get really professional full color stickers printed, and just start. So what advice do you have for folks that are wanting to do some packaging in the US and good providers, and how do they get started in packaging in the US?
Most places have a paper supplier. Like I used to use a standard corrugated cardboard box. All my stuff is little, right? I have a couple things that are bigger. but most of my stuff is little. So printing stickers is expensive, especially in smaller quantity because it's so much work, right? So my suggestion is always, in the online world, I tell people who's ever getting into it, your opinion doesn't matter. Your thoughts don't matter. You test. The market will tell you what it wants. My top 10 selling products, never in a million years would I have picked them to be the top selling products. The top 10 selling products are completely different on Amazon than they are in Walmart, than they are in Shopify. Like it's a different world, right? So I'm gonna say, you know what? You got a product, do something quick and dirty. I don't care if you're paying $10 a box. See what works. Then once you have it working, then you go back and you do that. Like, actually, Amy, I wouldn't mind that supplier name for you from China, because what we're doing right now is we're doing a generic box and we're doing a sticker, a full color sticker around the generic box. So I wouldn't mind a generic box supplier. So I'm interested in that contact. If you don't mind sharing that with me,
Yes,
I'd appreciate
absolutely. Yes, I will send it to you.
Yeah, I went out and I bought myself this. Like, I tried 10 different things. I bought myself this Affinia label printer, and it's like these big commercial printers are kind of a pain in the butt. Like, certain things work better than other things, and I finally got it dialed in where if I use a glossy paper label, not the Bebop, right, I get this amazing result. It'll print like 10,000 labels at a time, no issues, and it costs money, but I'm able to pivot so quickly, and also build in one thing. Like, I'm a creative guy, I like to jump around and do stuff. You really got to build your processes, right? Once your sales start coming up, you got to say, look, before we'd repackage stuff, I'd say, hey, look, make 20 of these. Then I'd print the labels, then I'd print the barcodes, then we do this stuff. And now when I go to my production team, I give them like a tray. The tray has labels, barcodes, recipe, what we need, and the shipping label of final boxes. So changing that on the front end really saved me a lot of headache, because, in anything, your printer goes down, you're out of ink, the computer crashes, we had a print, like, stuff happens. So this way, if you're ahead of the game and everything, there's no more bottlenecks.
Yes, I love that. That's so smart. So I'm going to put my packaging supplier on the ticker for everyone so you can see it. James is about to get a lot of business, and I already send him a lot of business because he's just a good guy, and he takes good care of people, and he also does photography in China, so anybody who needs it. So my favorite packaging supplier in China is Pactypus, Packtypus, and the owner's James, and he is actually Chinese, but he lived in Boston, and he started his business there, and you guys can contact him, and he's really, really good. And Miro, of course, I'll follow up with you and give you his contact personally, so you have it.
One more thing I'm going to throw out here. Again, people in America aren't really that, like, I travel a lot, and I kind of grew up internationally, so I understand this a little better. When you call Pakistan, everybody in Pakistan is educated in English. Every single person there speaks English. Like,
that's good to know.
Like, every single, it's some kind of crazy foreign country. No, they can all speak English there. I mean, depending on where they are, they may have an accent you're not familiar with, but you can communicate in writing and very well with people, and that's a plus, because like, I've been trying to get in the German market, and the Germans, God love them, but it's, you speak German or screw you. Like, they don't care. Like, like, I had one guy talked to one guy. I'm trying to get some custom stuff done there to bring my products in there. He goes, look, you know what? He goes, tell you what. I go, what? He goes, call me back when you learn German. And he hung up on me.
No, are you serious?
I'm like, you ugly son of a bitch. So mad.
I lived in Germany for a while when I was in the military, and I just want to include this here. Humzuk says, I'm totally messing up that name, by the way. You guys have to teach me. For textile, sports, salt, spices, pharmaceutical products, huge sourcing potential. Thanks to Tim for exploring. Hope this encourages other as well. Awesome. Yes. Sai says he's got to fly. Thanks for the nuggets. Well, thank you guys for being here today. You've taught us so much, Miro, and this has been a great conversation today. And I thank you so much. All right. one final piece of advice, Miro, that you have for everybody. Give everyone a nugget of business advice. So people just considering getting started, what's your best piece of advice?
Be courageous and just like close your eyes and run blindly forward. Over my career, I've had some ups and downs in business, and after you get burned a few times, you kind of, you get your heart broken, and you don't want to do it anymore. You get a little more cautious with it, and I'm going to say absolutely do not tread carefully. Do not, just go full out, because what happens is we're in a market that's exploding. It's still exploding, and if you miss out, you're gonna be really upset. And just try. It's okay to fail. It's okay to lose money. It's okay to screw up. Right? Just hide the bodies and move on.
I like it. Yes, fail fast. Keep going. Just do it. Don't sit and wait forever, right? Just get moving. Well, Miro, thank you so much. I know everybody learned so much, and people are going to start exploring Pakistan for some sourcing opportunities, and then also exploring some packaging opportunities elsewhere as well. So I think you opened a lot of people's eyes today, including mine. I thank you so much for your friendship and for your support and for sharing your story with our community. And thanks everybody for being here, and we'll see you next time. And bye. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks for tuning in. Join us every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for live Q&A and bonus content after the recording at sellerroundtable.com. Sponsored by the ultimate software tool for Amazon sales and growth, sellerseo.com and amazingathome.com.